How's it going, folks? And welcome back to episode number 50-something of Parts of Primera. It's the start of season number 7. I don't know what episode number it is. We're getting to that point in the save game where the episode numbers, they kind of become redundant because we're just a long way in the future now, aren't we? And well, welcome to the future of Racing, where Jorge Calderon has become vice captain, aged 18. Am I rushing him through? Am I trying to make him into something he's not? Possibly, but at the same time, I decided to strip Machado of the vice-captaincy duties and give it to Jorge here. He's looked really, really good. And, well, I'm feeling pretty good for today's season and the match, other than the fact, of course, it is against Barcelona today. Now, of course, last time out, we had a transfer special. If you didn't see it, there wasn't a load of dealings going on. Compared to some of the others, it was a little tamer as we tried to offload a lot of players. And well, the good news is we continued to offload players that I wasn't so keen on over the course of the rest of the summer since last episode. You can see here plenty of players departing on loan, including Al Asmar, of course, the Syrian centre attacking mid. Interested to see how he does on his loan. Really, we're just looking to drum up some interest in order to sell him. But the big sale of note was Bruno Trigo, who of course we signed a few years ago for £325,000, and well, without ever making an appearance for our first team, we've now sold him on for 7 million, which I am very, very happy about. He was a player who I thought was probably just going to end up in our B team, but with this transfer dealing, it opens up a whole host of opportunities. And those opportunities are reinvestment into youth. And that is exactly what we've done. Now, of course, last episode, we wrapped up things with the transfer of Mads Jensen, and since then, 3 new players have joined us, although these may be the first of many. The first of these is Les. Remember Les? I'm just calling him Les. Les Cotter. Don't need the Cotter bit. Les, our Australian forward. He has a lot of negatives, but I brought him in because he's called Les. I mean, do I need any more justification? The other players we brought in, slightly more expensive, slightly, perhaps, hotter prospects, dare I say. The first we have is Yehao Ma, who is a Chinese international at 16 years old. He was playing in Norway, of all places, which seems a little bit odd, but at 16, you can see here, he is an absolutely tremendous talent. He is going straight into our B team, which, just as a reminder, are now going to be playing in some competitive leagues down in the 4th tier of Spain, I believe. I think it's the 4th tier of Spain. It's the league that we started in, but of course there was the mental restructure. If you were here from the beginning, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he's going to be joining the B team. I think he could be a really, really good player for them. And the other man who has joined us already is William Boroquez. I've almost certainly not said that correctly. He is a Colombian winger, 18 years old. Again, gone straight to the B team. Really, really good pace, really good technicals as well. I think he's going to be really top quality for the level that our B team play at. And I'm a very, very big fan of this piece of business. You can see here, he had a really, really good season at Atlético Nacional, playing in the top tier of Colombia. He joins us for £2 million. It's a low investment. It's a low risk transfer. My big hope is he is going to develop and maybe turn into that little bit of competition that we need for Jonathan Martinez out on the right-hand side. Now, you may have caught it as I talked about those transfer dealings. I kind of talked like our business isn't done. And that's because our business almost certainly isn't done. We've got £13 million still in the transfer budget. We are still under the wage budget as well. And we almost have £100 million in the bank. So you can bet your bottom dollar I am looking to reinvest. However, I have kind of given up on the possibility of signing first team players. And instead, I'm going all out for the B team, looking to invest big in youth. And we've got a couple of players that I want to talk about who kind of fit that bill, I suppose. The first is Benny Perez. He is 16 years old and plays for Club America over in Mexico. At 16 years old, we were able to approach to sign him. So that's what we've done. Could be compensation in the region of 2 million. He's a super well-rounded player without being super standout. Lots of potential, though. Consistent performer. For 2 million, I think it would be a smart investment. Another player we're looking to sign is Chen, who is another Chinese player. This guy is only 17 years old. He had his birthday last month, and he is a tremendous prospect. He's got great pace, lacks some acceleration, but once he gets going, he's like a train. And, well, you can see looking at him, he's got some great mentals in certain areas. Good off the ball, good vision, good passing as well. Technique is really solid as well. Big bonus with this guy is he is part Argentinian. As a result, he will pick up Spanish nationality sooner upon joining us. I think if this deal happens, or is this deal happening? No, this deal isn't happening yet, but if it does happen, he won't join us until he's 18, which is the only downside with this deal. So we will have to wait a whole kind of summer, a whole season. But when he joins, I think he could be really good for us. And he is, well, one of a few players who I'm cautiously optimistic of signing. The next two here, I've lowballed what I think I'd have to pay to sign them a little bit. I'm not as convinced about them, but let's talk about them nevertheless. The first is a left back, because of course, we need more left-backs. We have here Maximiliano Zapata, who plays in Nacional. He is a left-back, as you can see here. Really, really good player, really well-rounded. He has a release clause in his contract, if I'm not mistaken, of £9 million. His value is significantly below that. I've just put in an opening bid of 2.5 million to see what they say. I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to tell me to do one in no lesser terms. And while the other player we're looking at is a similar kind of transfer dealing where I'd like to sign the person, but for their release clause, I'm not sure I can justify it. We have here Igor, who plays at Internacional in Brazil, has a release clause of 13.25 million, 17 years old. Looks really, really good, if you ask me. Loads of potential. I mean, what is there to say about this guy? He is pretty well suited to being an advanced forward already at the age of 17. If I could only sign one of all these players that we're looking at, it probably would be Igor for his asking price of 13 million. I think he could be a pretty bloody special player. I mean, look at him. He looks top draw. Now, since you were here for the start of pre-season, there's been a little bit more in the way of business going on. Not necessarily the business you'd expect, though, because Pablo Torre is on loan until the end of next year. We've extended it another year. At this point, I'm a little bit confused. I think it's probably a bug, to be honest, but I kind of like the idea that we just loan him back forever. It could be the greatest deal of all deals. He's on loan now until the end of next year, although they could recall him if they so wish. And elsewhere, Avramides, the player who I talked all summer about possibly selling, we've got him to sign a contract extension. I was a little bit nervy. He was only on £9,000 a week, and it wasn't a super long-term deal. I wanted to make sure that if we are going to lose him, we're not going to lose him on a free. And whilst he did ask for a significant rise in wages, he played for Argentina at the World Cup in the summer, definitely bolstered his profile. And at this point, I'm coming around to the idea that he probably is going to be a long-term option here at the club, especially now, of course, that he is part Spanish. So in terms of the squad and team and how everything's looking, this is how everything's looking. Going into today's season, you'll notice that one player is not registered. I've tried to loan him out to Red Star and he turned them down. I'm still trying to get rid of Atakovic, everyone. Minor dilemma. I have a 26-man squad and the squad size maximum is 25 players. Someone's not got to be registered, and Atakovic to me just feels like the player that it would make most sense not to register. I feel like we've got Vega who can play centre attacking mid, we've got Siapina who can play centre attacking mid, Calderon at centre attacking mid, Hardy can play there, and I don't think Atakovic really offers us anything that any of our other players don't offer us. The kind of issue right now is trying to get him out the door because no one wants him. So watch this space. Hopefully by next episode, we will be kicking him out onto the streets and he'll be living his best life wherever he may end up. At this point, I've come to the acceptance. We're not getting back the £16 million we paid for him. So going into the new season, a couple of players whose unhappiness we've got to juggle still. Two players who want to leave us. How dare they? Machado is a little disappointed that I've not allowed him to move on. But we talked about this last episode. The bids we weren't getting weren't nearly good enough. I think he's a really good backup for us. I'm sorry, Francisco. I'm keeping you here for your own good. Or at least that's what I'm going to tell myself. The other player who wants out is actually Cyprian Leroux, which is a concern because I view him as kind of our third or maybe even fourth choice centre-back this year. I think he's a really good centre-back. What he lacks in pace, he more than makes up for in physicality and smarts. He was unhappy when I rejected some bids in for him. I've set an asking price of 17 million. I think the largest bid we've had for him so far was 2 million, which for a player of his quality just seems shocking. One of the reasons he wanted to leave was because he wants to ascend in his squad role. Previously for us, he was kind of viewed as a massive fringe player on the squad. I've upped his standings. He will get starts this year. Hopefully once he starts playing and gets on the pitch, he'll have a change of heart. And well, with that all said and done, it's time to get into today's first game of the season against Barcelona. Yeah, still not happy that this is how we have to start our season, but we have to deal with the hand that we're dealt. And well, this is the team we are going to have for today's game. In goal, we of course have Ramadani. At right back, last year's left back, Sivkovic, moves over to the opposite wing. Of course, he is either-footed, so there's not too much of a concern there. In the middle, it's going to be Galarreta and Velez playing alongside one another. I feel like they really had a good season together last year. Two players who are quite complementary, dare I say, to one another. You can see here how good Galarreta is versus Vélez. There is actually a surprisingly big difference between the two players when you compare them like this. But nevertheless, they're two young players who have both proven their worth at this level for us. A left-back, of course, we've got the record transfer Perez. Little bit of pressure on him. 19 years old, viewed as the future of the Spanish national team, viewed as the future of this Racing defence, I think, as well. Hopefully he's going to step up and prove to be worth the money that we shelved out for him. In the midfield, it is unchanged from last year. It's going to be Capanu playing as the ball-winning midfielder, a role that he is just expertly tailored to. Alongside him, of course, we've got Blanco playing in the box-to-box midfielder role. I feel like we don't talk about Antonio Blanco nearly enough. He's kind of just been a steady staple of the squad. He's a really well-rounded player, slightly better defensively, which for a box-to-box midfielder I think really helps him in games like this one, where against Barcelona we are going to have periods without the ball. Ahead of them, of course, we're going to have Pablo Torre playing down the middle. I'm still feeling like over time he is going to be eclipsed and Jorge Calderon will take his spot, but there is no denying that Pablo Torre to end last year was really, really solid. Based off that form, based off his pre-season, he is going to feature as our starter today. Out on the left, we go with Avramides cutting in on his right foot. Took a big step forward last year versus previous years. I'm hoping we're going to see an equally big leap forward this year, especially with the new contract that he's on. Out on the right-hand side, Martinez keeps his spot, a player who we did look at replacing. We weighed up the possibilities of replacing him. In the end, there really wasn't a player in our kind of affordable range out on the right-hand side who I thought could do a better job than this man. So he's back in the team today. And up front, we are going to go with Siapina playing as the complete forward on attack. You can see here, it's a role that he is so well suited to, the 20-year-old. Only had 6 months at the club, of course, last year because he came back from his loan at Porto. Very excited to see what he can achieve with us today. On the bench, we've got the likes of Leroux. Mark, of course, back on loan from Manchester United is an option. We have Corridor as the kind of backup ball-winning midfielder / emergency centre-back option on the bench. Vega, Calderon, Hill, of course, who we signed in on loan, is on the bench. And up top, on the bench, we have Mejica as a striking option. Going to be interesting to see how we feature Mejica in the team this year, and equally how he performs on the occasions where we do give him chances. But I do feel like there's a bit of a passing of the torch, shall we say now. Siapina, look, he's better than Mejica. He's undeniably better. We need to give him game time. We need to get him gelling with the team, learning the system. And, given what Mejica was able to perform with this kind of team behind him, I'm very interested to see what Siapina can do for us today. So we talked about it last episode, but Moriba and Pedri left Barcelona in the summer. In their place, they did sign a few replacements. You can see here their team. They've got Martial and Guiri up front, two French players of all nationalities. They've also got Tolisso at the back, I've noticed. So a bit of a French pattern emerging here. Skriniar and Stoyanchu at the back, and it's not too bad or a bench either. Players like David Neres on the bench, Francisco Trincao as well. There's no denying that bench is probably a little bit better than our bench, even if you're just looking at it kind of on name value. But anyway, I'm not doing the press conference to start things. We're going to the Nou Camp, that stadium where Messi never got to say farewell in real life. In Football Manager, he did, as of course he joined us as a coach last episode, which is very, very exciting. I'm kind of hoping he's told me all their inner secrets of Barcelona, their kryptonite, how we can beat them. And, let's get into this, shall we? We need to win to start the year. This is big. I'm nervous. I'm really hoping the kids can step up. And we're not going to finish this game today thinking, why did I spend all my money on a left back? That's what I want to not feel come the end of today. As well, there is going to be an early highlight here as Perez, the new man, he's getting danced around, and while the ball is switched over to Guiri, he has an effort. Ramadani makes a great stop. It wasn't the best of finishes on goal, although it's still not away from danger. It is now. I mean, Ramadani came to our rescue on a few occasions last season. He's already had to do it within a minute of this new season. I hope he wasn't expecting a less busy time this year, because I think he's in for a rude awakening, if that was the case. Anyway, they've got a free kick in a wide area here. Manella knocked back down to Bolde. Edge of the box for them. Barcelona, Frederic Martial, and I think it's offside, but I am questioning the defensive organisation there from that set piece. We looked all over the place. And well, if we want to chase down Real Madrid for the title this year, we need to score, because they're already 2-0 up against Osasuna. Was it offside? It was offside. It wasn't even close. Never in doubt. This is fine. I'm relaxed. Slightly concerning that 36 minutes in, we're yet to have a shot on target. But maybe that can change here. Maybe this is where things mix it up. As well, Blanco plays it forward, threads it through to Avramidis, who strikes it home into the bottom corner. And maybe all Avramidis needed was a pay rise. Maybe he's fueled by money. Maybe he's fueled by greed. Give him good performances, or good performance bonuses, and he will give you the good performances. Blanco's ball, by the way, through here was sublime. Not necessarily known for his passing range, but on that occasion it was threaded through expertly, and the finish at the end of it, you know what? I've been critical of him. It wasn't that bad by Avramidis, although De Bruyne now to whipping the ball for them, and it's hit Perez and gone in. It's not a great debut, is it? It's not a great... When you score an own goal on your debut as a record transfer, you have to... I want to say you have to hang your head in shame a little bit. That feels a bit harsh, but... I mean, questions have to be asked. I'm not sure if I'll like the answers. Perez, wake up, my friend. And I think that's going to be all that we see for this first half. It's 1-1 at the break, and I feel a little hard done by. Right, let's get a little bit shouty, but also a little bit motivation-y with the team talk. We can't get shouty all the time, as fun as it is. And, well, they play it out from the back quite nicely there. It's now with Akamash, who plays it forward to Addons. Through the middle he goes, lays it to Martial, one-on-one. That is not a good start to the half. The first half we had a chance against us within a minute. 61 seconds into the second half by my count. Barcelona create a chance, and this time they don't waste it. This time it hasn't come too early for them. Akamash plays it through, laid off to Addons. He has so much time and space. I think Galarreta there kind of came across unnecessarily, opened up the opportunity for the pass, and Barcelona reinstate, well, their dominance and, well, for the first time in this game, take the lead in this game. Still only one shot on target for us. Right, you know what? 62 minutes in, time for change. Siapina is coming off for Mexica. Pablo Torre has not been great in this game, but to be fair, neither has Martinez. Let's take off Martinez. We're going to move Avramidis onto the right and play Calderon out on the left. It's time to bring in our secret weapon, Calderon. Be the difference maker that I need. Their last goal came from a goal kick, so I'm already nervous here when this one starts with the exact same thing. Although they're trying to play out from the back and we're pressing high. And then we force a turnover in possession, but then Perez gives away the ball. He's not having a very good debut, is he? Martial now getting in behind, bringing it forward. Can he get a shot away? He can. Huge save by Ramadani. It's blocked once and then twice. I think, was that both times by Perez? It was. Maybe those blocks there are his kind of turning point for his career at the club. The fact that I'm talking about the turning point in my record transfers career after 70 minutes is a little concerning, isn't it? And while speaking of the devil, he's involved in this highlight again. He's thrown it in, and while we've lumped it forward and given it away. Barcelona, Guiri, they've brought David Neres off the bench. Imagine having David Neves on the bench. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Martial, his cross is blocked. Now with Manella, back post, hooked away again. Pablo nods it down, but only as far as Tolisso. We are being boxed in by this Barcelona team. We can't find a way through right now, and they're knocking the ball around sensationally. Oh my word. But for a Ramadani save, that would have been, well, one of the great goals of this season. It was passed around so well. Ball whipped in. It bounces in the box, which we don't enjoy seeing. Still with David Neres. And another save by Ramadani. I was going to wait until they got cleared away to make tactical changes, but I feel forced to make them now. We're going to bring in Vega. I'm going to switch Pablo Torre to play on attack. Mexica, you're going to go to advance forward. Perez, get on attack. Zivkovic, get on attack. Less playing it out from the back. More direct, faster tempo. Whipping the ball sooner. And out of possession. We'll get ready to press. We need to try and force a turnover in possession. We need to try and force a change in how this game has played out, really. With 8 minutes left, we make our final sub. Oh, we need to deal with this. Galarreta gets it away. Neres still with it. Now with Manella. I'm still nervous they're going to score. Okay, I need not be nervous. We have dealt with it there. Perez plays it wide to Calderon. 82 minutes. Still plenty of time for a goal or two. We could still win it 3-2. I believe. Ball lumped forward. And that is a save for the cameras, isn't it, by Ramadani? Did not need to do that, but I kind of respect the pointless dive at the same time. Pablo Torre nods it down for Avramires. He's already scored one. I'll tell you now, he scored another. We have not had many opportunities in this game. I'm not sure how Pablo Torre's won a header either, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to question the answers to those questions. We've got a goal. And it's beautiful. Ramadani lumps it forward. Pablo Torre beats Dest in the air. Falls the way of Avramides. 2 goals on his first game of the season. You know how I said about if he could have a really good improved season again this year, it'd be great. Maybe he's on the road to it. I want to believe now that with that goal, our tail is going to be up between our legs and we're going to be able to, well, maybe get another goal here. Turn it around. Ball lumped forward to Mexique. Is he onside? I think he is. It's an impossible angle. Surely to score. I mean, it's not. It's not. It's worked wonders. We're 3-2 up. When I said that we could still score 2 with 8 minutes left, I was kind of joking. It wasn't meant to be serious. Galarreta lumps it forward. I thought when Mexique had it here, you're just going to see it get smashed into the side netting. But somehow he's beaten the goalkeeper. Right. That's just, yeah, look, we went very attacking. I have to revert it all now. Just stay calm, time waste it, switch everyone on to support. It's going to be okay. Let's not press as hard either. Let's just, just drop deep, chill out a little bit. 3 minutes to hold on. Can we do it? It would be so undeserved. De Bruyne with the ball here, whipping it in. Galarreta nods it away. Avramides, could he go for his hat-trick? He looks hungry for it. On a booking, he needs to be a little bit careful as the ball's going to be tackled away the way of Dest. Could argue he was at fault for the second goal, and while Guerreri is threaded through. Ramadani, I need you to come to the rescue. And it's not happened. And, I mean, it's an absolute great game for the neutral. I'm not enjoying it. I am not enjoying this. This is not fun. This is not pleasurable in any way. Do I go back on more attacking now? I think I have to. I think. Look, let's just do it. We have to. I can't not do it now, can I? Right, going back to what we were on before. I spent 2 minutes putting everyone on support. A minute later, they're all back on attack. Would it be unrealistic to expect another goal in this game? It would be. 3-3 it's going to finish. I feel quite fortuitous that we've managed to get even a point there. But you know what? A point against Barcelona away is nothing to be scoffed at. In the grand scheme of our season, that's a good result, isn't it? Obviously, the way it's played out with their 92nd minute goal after we've come back from behind is a little gutting. But, I mean, it could be worse. Also, I asked for Calderon to go on a leadership course. Apparently, Alfredo, Mr. kind of tight wallet, he doesn't want to shelve out for that, does he? Of course he doesn't. Alfredo, can we have some money, please? Just invest it somewhere. Perez makes his debut. He scored an own goal on it. I don't want to talk about Perez's performance today. I'm not sure he's worth it after one game. Although it might be a little bit too soon to be drawing conclusions as to the success of our transfers. Now, you know what, Perez? I do believe in you, mate. You're going to turn it around. You're going to prove the doubters wrong. And, when we come back next time, you're going to have like 6 assists to your name. And speaking of next time, we've actually got Real Madrid in 3 games' time. Also away from home. It's not fair, is it? We're going to come back for that one. There will also be the Champions League draw sometime soon. I have no doubt there will be a group stage game that maybe we can cover alongside that Real Madrid one. So yeah, I think we'll come back for a double header next time with our kind of newly rejuvenated team where Perez is going to be the MVP this year, I believe. Thank you for watching as always. If you have enjoyed today's video, drop a like on it. If you've got any thoughts, theories or opinions as to my transfer dealings, my tactics, my shapes that I played or anything really regarding Football Manager, leave it in the comments. And until next time, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.